Hey guys, what's going on? Wally here, and today I have a special guest with me, Sunny Delph. I'm gonna go ahead and let him introduce himself.
Hi guys, my name is Sunny Dove, and as the famous master of the universe says, I kick ass and chew bubblegum.
And if you guys don't know who we're referring to, that is Zeno. And I kind of feel like Zeno, in some ways, like the godfather of MNC, at least, I don't know, because he is, actually, you know who he really reminds me of? I don't know how much you know about Call of Duty commentators, but Sandy Ravage.
Yeah,
He kind of reminds me. Yeah, he kind of reminds me like the Sandy Ravage of the MNC community. I think a lot of that just has to do with the fact that he didn't commentate that much. At least in the beginning, he didn't commentate over his videos that much. It was just mostly based on the gameplay. That's kind of where his following came from.
Right. Sandy's the same way.
Yeah, but enough of
Sandy
Zeno. We're here to talk about Sunny here today, and I'd say Sunny is another big pillar in the MNC community. He's definitely one of the first people that I saw playing this game, and you're a large part of the reason why my game has improved so much, because you give so many good tips and teach people how to become better players.
Oh, that kind of makes me a father of sorts. I'm proud of the number of players that have been inspired by me, and a lot of channels have started because of my channel. Although that's not to say that I'm any big deal or anything. I've got just under 1,000 subscribers, and it's not really any force on YouTube, but get what you can, and it'll grow from there.
Most definitely.
So, both of our channels are variety gaming channels, and that's something I'm really happy about, is that there are other people out there doing varied things, not only Monday Night Combat, but Let's Plays and games that you don't typically see every day. A little bit different from the bland old Call of Duty.
Yeah, most certainly. I think that was one of the things that impressed me most about your channel. I mean, I certainly loved watching your Monday Night Combat gameplay, but then I stumbled across a Digimon Let's Play, and I really just liked the fact that you were willing to have that kind of diversity in the games that you would show, and I love seeing that kind of obscure stuff on gaming channels, and it just shows you of how much variety there is out there in video games, because I think it's easy for us to really, especially today with online, to just get so sucked into one game, and you kind of just close yourself off to everything else, and it's nice to get that reminder that there's this much variety and that many good games out there.
Definitely. I like to get the depth in games, but you got to have some variety too.
Most certainly. I mean, obviously it is nice to get that one game where you kind of can commit yourself a little bit and then get that, watch that growth, watch yourself become a better player, and watch the scores just keep jumping up.
Definitely.
And go ahead, I'm sorry, I apologize.
So we got sniper gameplay here. This is me playing, and the reason I picked this gameplay was because I wanted to talk about why sniper is really ridiculous on a god tier of its own, if you will, in Monday Night Combat. Because of that right there, the point and click death, the one-shot headshot, it's pretty mean, especially with mouse and keyboard.
Yeah, that seems to be the case. I've heard a lot of people been talking about this, and I think it's kind of tough for people like me, who mostly stay on the Xbox 360. Though I did just get the PC, and me and you've been playing a little bit, but I still don't think I have the feeling for the sniper or what the sniper can be on the PC. But I'm seeing a little bit of it here, watching you getting a couple nice quick shots here, there, in quick succession.
This game is hardly representative of what a great sniper can do. Just FYI, guys, I'm not really that great a sniper. I'm a mediocre sniper, in my opinion. Some people might say otherwise, but I am not all that amazing at sniper. My favorite class at this point is Assault. Imagine that. It's a bit overplayed as well, but what are you going to do?
I'm sorry if you guys just heard that. There's some people screaming in the background, apparently. Please just ignore that. I'm just off of a college campus, so sometimes we do get this kind of interruption. But anyways, yeah, please ignore it. But anyways, getting back on subject. So I would probably agree with you that the sniper is, it's definitely a little bit above a tier of its own, but I would say that there at least one class. I feel like the Assault can somewhat combat the sniper and is kind of on that level of where it can compete with it, just for its ability with its pretty decent durability, especially when you have the armor on gold, and its ability to move around and damage, and what it can do to the money ball. I feel like it's an all-around pretty devastating class as well, and I would say that's the only reason I'm reluctant to say that the sniper might be too OP.
I can see where you're coming from, and this is usually the angle I would say. I would completely agree with you that the assault has a lot of strength against the sniper. He has mobility, he has durability, he has the bomb to ring them out and set them on fire. You know, put them at least in a position where they have to run away or they will die. But the thing is, when you see the snipers that I do on the PC that are so accurate with the mouse that they literally can quick scope you from point blank, and it's no big deal. Like, you don't even have you don't have enough time to throw your bomb and hit them with it and detonate it. Because there are so many times where I throw my bomb and just before I detonate it, oh, I got quick scoped, headshotted, and insta death. Like, it gets incredibly rage inducing, and I've been meaning to do a video about this, about how sniper has been so obnoxious lately, because I play with a lot of the really good snipers in MNC, because they're just sort of in my inner circle of people I know.
Yeah, most certainly. I mean, I guess we talked about this a little bit earlier, but what would you suggest? So even if we were to say, okay, this is a problem, we need to fix it. What would you suggest for for fixing the problem? Because I think that's the most important thing in an argument like this. While you can point out its flaws, it's also kind of crucial to have an understanding of what we could do to make the game better.
Definitely. Let's not just point and bitch here. We gotta actually be solution oriented and not just point out the flaws. So I would say I've been playing some TF2 lately, and I'm new to TF2, but I do like how the sniper is handled in that game. I think it would be good to implement the sort of charge system where the longer you're scoped in, the more damage your sniper does when you fire it. And that is not to say that we're taking away the one-shot headshot. I think that needs to stay. But basically the idea of making people sort of scope in more and hard scope more is a good thing to me, because I think the sniper, to gain such amazing killing ability, they need to have like a little bit of tunnel vision. Like, they can't be completely aware of the entire map and be killing people left and right at the same time, which also means that they kind of need to do something about the quick scoping, because honestly that's the most frustrating thing to me. I don't really quick scope very much. You won't see it in this video, but that's just because I'm not a top tier sniper. The really good snipers like Zutsumi, we'll go ahead and put a link to his or her channel in the description or in an annotation or something on the screen now, and you'll get to see some of the ridiculous shots that Zutsumi pulls off. But unfortunately there aren't any other commentators that do sniper really well, so that's the only example I can give. But that is a great example of some serious aim, if you want to see that.
Yeah, I mean, like, when you're talking about people who do have such like an amazing ability, I mean, it's tough. I mean, the only thing that would make me a little reluctant is, like, in your opinion, I mean, I don't, again, I haven't really been able to experience it so much yet, but like, how many people would you say are on this tier where they can do so much damage? Do you think you're just traveling a different circle than what the average gamer will experience on the game, or do you think it's enough people that it's like, okay, this is becoming a serious problem? Too many people can be very mobile and deadly with the sniper at the same time.
I can tell you that the average sniper, let's say like a sniper that you typically run into, is good enough to snipe you if you're playing assault and you're being very mobile. They'll snipe you maybe once or twice a game, and that will annoy you, but it's not really enough to say, sniper doesn't get to kill me. That's bullshit. It's more like an assassin type thing, where it's like, yeah, assassin's really going for me. They're probably going to get me eventually. And it's the same deal with an average sniper, I would say. But when you run into these amazing snipers, like we're saying here, that it becomes just completely obnoxious to play against them. You basically just have to hide and stay out of their line of sight and sneak up on them if you can. And a lot of times it's not possible because they're constantly quickscoping, constantly moving around, jumping, very aware of their situation.
That's true. And I would say, I mean, even though MNC, like, as far as the community, is a little bit different than some of the AAA titles, because it is like an indie game. The community's not as big, so like, even things like this that might not necessarily affect the whole community can still have kind of a big impact because you do run into a lot of the same people very often, and it is very common to play with the same people. At least in my experience so far on the Xbox, I mean, I know gamer tags. Like I know pretty much by scanning up and down of who I'm playing against, what the game's going to be like, how much of a struggle it's going to be, you know. Because I just know all the gamer tags. Like I know all the people who play all the time because I see them on there, like, you know, every other day or something like that. Because it's such a close-knit community.
Right.
Is it your same experience on the PC or?
Exactly the same, and it's even more so because I tend to play in Chicago servers because I live in Indiana and I'm really close there, so that gives me like a 20 or 30 ping on the good ones. So you'll find that certain people, not only is it a small community, but you also have people that frequent the same servers. So it's like you see the same people all the time.
Okay, yeah. So that's when I definitely think that, you know, that becomes a problem when there are these people with disability and you're running into them on a constant basis. Going back to your first solution, I think I'd want to, you know, I think it could be something that could be viable, but I think the time in which you need to be scoped in would need to be adjusted from what it is on TF2, because TF2, it's a pretty long time you need to be in scope to gain that one hit killing power, especially on some classes. That would be my only, you know, kind of reluctance to take that on, because Monday Night Combat is a very fast-paced game. It's really hectic, it's crazy, especially when people start pushing in your base, and if the sniper was required to have that tunnel vision for too long a period of time, I think you would get into the instance of once he doesn't have favorable map control, he's just pretty much useless. And you know, you don't really want to put a class to the point of that, where it's only in a very, you know, narrow circumstance can he be a vital player to the team.
Definitely, and I would not want a class to be nerfed to the point of useless to the average player. I want Sniper to be a good class, but I guess, I don't know, it's probably a little selfish of me, but I don't want the really, really good snipers to be able to completely neutralize me. And the thing is, I'm not that great a sniper, so I can't counter them. I don't feel like anything counters a sniper except another even better sniper when it comes down to these really, really good players that have insane muscle memory. I don't know how they do it. They're just amazing. And the thing is, the charging aspect is something I just kind of thought was cool from TF2, and I'd like to see that. But the more importantly, I think the quick scoping is what needs to go.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I do enjoy quick scoping. When I pull them off, I can't do it on the PC yet. My hands are just not. My hands and brain don't know how to communicate with each other on PC. But you know, on Xbox, when I pull them off, I mean, I feel like it's pretty interesting and fun. I mean, I don't know if I think that honestly though, the PC and Xbox should be treated differently when it comes to Sniper, because I think they're two almost different games when it comes to the amount of control you have. Because I mean, there is one sniper who I've run into on Xbox who's pretty good. His name's Sigmar. I don't know if you know who he is.
I've heard of him.
Yeah, he's one of the more well-known snipers on Xbox, and he is one of those guys. And I'm sure it's not even to the extent of what you're talking about on the computer. But you know, he's one of those guys. When you're playing against him, you better change your game plan, because if you don't, your head is going to be on the floor in about 2 seconds. Because you know, he can shoot, and if you give him that line of sight, I mean, you got to change the whole way you play the game. So I would say that's definitely where it needs to be looked at somehow. You know, one player shouldn't be like, okay, everything that you're going to do needs to be different now. Like if you don't, you know, you can't play. And I do see that's where the problem is. So removing quickscoping. Yeah, I guess that would be a good idea in a game like this, especially where it takes so long to kill someone. Like versus a game like Call of Duty, I don't think that quickscoping being in the game is a problem, because encounters are so fast. I mean, they're a split second. They're literally over in a split second. So the sniper almost needs that to be able to combat with that kind of playstyle. But like you had told me, I think we talked about this a little bit earlier, the engagements are much longer.
Right.
So I would say get rid of quickscoping, but make it viable to have like somewhat quick shots. I think you should be able to shoot within, I don't know, like a 1.5 seconds or something like that. Like something. I mean, I don't think you can make it too long, because I don't think these games lend themselves to a sniper just kind of sitting in the back of the map. I wouldn't like to see the sniper totally reduced to that either.
Right, and I wouldn't want that either. But I think there has to be some kind of happy middle ground here between they completely dominate the the flow of pros versus being useless.
Yeah, most certainly. One of the things you said you heard Uber talking about was them possibly implementing a bolt action onto the sniper.
Well, the guy that said it was, I don't know how serious he was when he said it. It was Scathus or Scathus, I don't know how to pronounce his name. He's the balance guy for Uber. And he mentioned it. He was like, yeah, we thought about it. Not something we particularly want to do, but it's something we're looking at, thinking about it. So, I guess, do you have any opinion on that, making a bolt action?
Yeah, I wouldn't be totally against that. I mean, I don't think it would address the problems that you're talking about necessarily, though. I don't know if it would address the core problems of what people are feeling that the sniper has. Because making it a bolt action wouldn't really address the ability to get a one-shot kill quick. It would just limit their ability to drop, 3 or 4 guys in quick succession.
Right. And I think that would probably do some good because ultimately the sniper really doesn't have the bot pushing power to really win a game single-handedly. And that's the one thing that I am thankful for is the sniper has almost no way to damage the money ball quickly. The flak is pretty much their best option. And they also can't really... I mean, they can kill bots, but they can't, actively escort the bots. Generally, anyway. Unless they're, insanely good at quick
See,
kill.
that's the other thing, which kind of makes me wonder if they truly are overpowered, because if you take this game, as a whole, player killing is only a portion of the game, and, depending on who you talk to, it may not be the most important part of the game either. I mean, a lot of people think that it's not, We were actually talking about this earlier, too, today, how there could, map control or, pushing bots may be really the more important roles of the game. So if you're going to take that into account, too, snipers may not be as overpowered as we think they are.
Yeah, I think that snipers more ruin your personal pride because they force you to play differently, or else you're going to take a lot of deaths. But ultimately, at the end of the day, if you're really persistent and don't give up against the sniper, you can usually overcome them unless they have a really good team backing them up. Because ultimately, death has very little cost in this game. You lose your streak, and that's the big thing. And for some reason, I can't aim at that guy, but he can't aim at me either. So it's okay.
Nice little standoff to see it. I've been in more than my share of those.
So, yeah, but basically just be persistent, and death doesn't have a huge cost as long as you are continuing to push the bots and try to get into their base. It doesn't really matter if you die 50 times as long as you end up killing the money ball. Ultimately, you're the winner.
Yeah, so see, that's where I'm kind of torn with the sniper, because coming from that standpoint, from that logical standpoint of in the terms of winning the game, do I think the sniper's overpowered? No, but at the same time, I mean, I think player balance should also come into account with playing the game in a reasonable manner, because I mean, while you might win forfeiting your life on a constant basis, I mean, I don't think it's a enjoyable way to play the game. So.
Right.
I mean, I guess depending on how you want to look at what's important in the game, your answer of whether or not the sniper really is so overpowered or under, or just normal would vary. But coming back to balance within the game, I mean, I don't know if that's necessarily the only thing I'd want them to address or devote their time with. I would hate to see them be like Treyarch and just become obsessed with controlling, one portion of the game, especially like a sniper or something like that, instead of focusing on some other things. I mean, I think if they were going to change some things, maybe look at the perks. Or the
I think they need to make some endorsements more useful.
Because, I mean, there are some endorsements that you'll just never put on, and it's unfortunate. Because I mean, I would like to see more varied builds than I do. I mean, I feel like there's really, when it comes down to making a smart choice for your builds, there's only so many that you really should be thinking about, and then after that point, it doesn't really make sense to venture too far away from those.
Yeah, I can completely agree with that. That is exactly how it is. You cannot really deviate much from some combination of armor, rate of fire, accuracy, and skill recovery,
Yeah.
depending on the class.
I mean, I think that's the problem that every game like this that I meant to say initiates this kind of perk system into the game is there's just these core perks that work so well that, like, even though you want to put in all these other things, they're not really as viable of a choice. I mean, you see it in Call of Duty and pretty much any other game that you see that kind of works with this perk system. I mean, it's tough because it's really tough to balance these things out, and it's tough to make each perk, you know, have the same kind of utility.
I feel like there's probably enough variability between the ones that are useful that it keeps it interesting. Like, I have to wonder sometimes, what is this person running? If I don't die to them, I don't really know. I have to kind of determine it from fighting them. So, I guess I'd like to see them focus on adding more content, fixing the grapple mechanics even further. I feel like there's still issues.
Well, especially coming from the Xbox version, it is a nightmare sometimes trying to get those grapples to connect, but that's a different story.
They can improve hit detection a little bit, especially with the jet gun accounting for lag.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you'll be right up on someone just jet gunning them and nothing will happen. You'll hear the noise too of it hitting.
Yep.
But the health bar will just stay stagnant. It's the worst.
Definitely. So, anyway, is there anything else you wanted to cover? I think we've pretty well talked about Sniper.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe we'll talk more about your channel in particular, what you got going on, because you do a number of different things. And also, before we even get into that, I wanted to talk about maybe testing the waters of something that I asked you about earlier, and I don't mean to put you on the spot. But I was talking about maybe the possibility of trying to do a show maybe with you and maybe Xeno, in which we take a look at some MNC gameplay from people who aren't necessarily the gods that you two are, and maybe kind of examining it and looking at how to get a little bit better, doing some tips and stuff like that. Because there are a lot of people who I know, at least from my channel, who play MNC or have started playing MNC, and they're still really new to it. You know, they don't understand it, and the game can be kind of complex when you look at the whole thing. There's a lot of variables going on. So I think it'd be kind of cool if maybe we try to do something like that, where you maybe take a look at my gameplay or someone else sends something in, and just kind of examine it, almost do like a little engineering win type of thing.
Yeah, I'd love to do something like that. We'll have to definitely work on that.
Yeah, we'll have to talk to Xeno too and see if he would be up to try something like that in the near future.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, I feel like I really haven't given you the chance so much to kind of you know, tell people what's going on your channel, because I know you do have more than MNC. You certainly have a great amount of MNC content, but you also have a little bit else.
Right, I do. I started out in Let's Plays originally on my channel, and right now I've got a Borderlands Let's Play going that is live commentary with a good friend of mine that I used to do podcasts with, and that's going pretty well. I have 2 episodes out of that so far. I do about 20-minute segments, and I record like 2-3 hour sessions at a time, and then break those into 20-minute episodes.
Yeah,
So-
I'm excited watching that. That's a game that I feel like it never really got the attention that it deserved. I don't know in your minds, like, I feel like that game just, I don't know, it just didn't get the attention that it deserved. It really was a very well constructed game. I mean, I love what they did with the ability for that random generation of guns. I mean, you just always constantly coming up. I mean, it's pretty much like endless content, at least. I mean, if you're looking at it, there's always something new that you haven't seen, like a gun or an item or something like that, because they just randomly pop out. And I love that about that game.
I think the game lends itself really well to Let's Play. It's a really exciting, wonky game, and it's funny. My favorite character is Scooter. You know who it is?
That's the guy who sells the vehicles, right?
Yeah.
He's like the hillbilly guy, right?
He like talks about, you want to take a poke at that? I mean the ride, not my mama's girly parts.
Yeah.
He's
that
hilarious.
game, I mean, you could tell that game has a sense of humor right from when you start out, when you fight Nine Toes.
Yeah.
And it's like Nine Toes, but he has like, what does it say? Like he has like 3 balls or something like that. Like
Yeah,
right
in
from the first
parentheses.
boss. Yeah.
And then he has a safety first sign on his crotch.
Oh my gosh, that was a great game.
Yeah. I think it got some. It definitely got some publicity. Like, it was the big game in between Call of Duties. I feel like all the people that were playing Call of Duty that got bored, that wanted an RPG shooter,
Maybe
were
I
on
missed it. I
Borderlands.
mean, I saw Cnannas and Trump do like a little thing of it, but they never really took it to the point of giving it like a full Let's Play. I've seen some people do like a video, but I didn't really see it get too much.
I think it was just too much of a commitment for people that big, and it doesn't get as many views as Call of Duty. That's ultimately what it comes down to. I'm calling out all of the big YouTube commentators right now. Y'all are bitches because all you do is post Call of Duty because it gets views.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I can't. I guess that could be the case. I mean, it's tough because I'm not in that position where I'm making money on this. So, but yeah, I would say it's sad to see that you see people forgoing a lot of games just because it might not necessarily be popular.
I think it's obvious. Look at XCal. XCal post Call of Duty. He's like, dude, I hate this game. I only post it because you guys want it, and it makes me money. Yeah. Basically, is what he said.
I mean, I think there's a balance to be achieved, though, always with making your subscribers happy and trying to have some.
Oh, definitely. I'm just
gameplay as well.
I just hate to see people that suffer through a game that they hate because.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
They have to make videos for it. That's ridiculous.
Most certainly. Alrighty, so obviously we've wrapped up to the end of the video. Unfortunately, we're a little bit past, but if there's one thing you'd want to leave all these fine people with, what would it be, Sonny?
Well, I guess I would just hope that you guys manage through this mediocre sniper gameplay. I did get 58 kills, although I don't really know how I got that many. I guess they were just that bad on the other team. So I guess that pretty much does it. I hope you guys had fun.
Well, I certainly did. And Sonny, modest as always, thank you for coming on. I enjoyed having you over here. We'll have to do it sometime soon.
Alrighty. Take care, guys.
Later, guys. Peace.